Good evening. Welcome to Hungarian Public Media's News in English, Hungary Reports. I'm Híradó, bringing you today's news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Let's get started. Everything is ready for the retrieval of the mermaid, the sunken boat at the bottom of the Danube. It could be brought to the surface by professionals in the morning hours on Tuesday. The 4 lifting belts are under the hull of the boat. They're in the correct positions and they've been checked. The Clark Adam floating crane is also in position, along with the other support boats.
The floating crane moved into its position slowly late Monday afternoon. Safety boats have also taken their position by the foot of Margaret Bridge, and the 4 lifting straps are already under the hobline, which lies deep under the river. The planned time for the lifting maneuver is currently 5 a.m. Tuesday morning. A department director of the Counterterrorism Centre said Monday afternoon that temperatures on the small boat where professionals were working hit 50 degrees Celsius. Cooler hours at dawn will be better for the rescue. Nándor Jasensky added, they definitely won't begin the work during the night due to bad visibility. The rope system fixed to the straps must be checked once more by the technicians before lifting, but after that the operation can begin. According to our last data, as the boat comes closer to the surface, the captain's bridge will emerge first, which is a stopping point since we will have to examine that area to determine whether there are any victims in it, Nándor Jasensky said. After that, the lifting of the boat will be stopped at the sun deck next. There, professionals will search the main room, which is where most of the passengers were at the time of the accident. When all of the windows of the hubline have reached the surface, aiding ships will begin to pump out the water, while the crane will lift the wreck onto a barge standing by. According to experts, it's presumable that there are still bodies of victims located in the wreck. The body of the 20th victim, a South Korean woman, was found on Saturday. Officials are still searching for 7 other South Koreans and the Hungarian captain of the ship.
In the meantime, the luxury hotel boat that crashed into the mermaid arrived back in Hungary Sunday night. The Viking Sigun continued on its trip upstream after the accident, and this is the first time it's returned to the Hungarian section of the Danube since then. It docked in Visegrad, but there is no information yet on whether it will return to Budapest. This Monday was Whit Monday, and Hungarians around the nation followed or learned about our traditions during the long holiday weekend. Traditional pretzels in Senna, family activities in many towns, and the celebration of charisms was organized in the Mária Remete Church's garden yet again this year.
Women in Senna baked the Pentecost pretzels early in the morning. They offered them to visitors of the open-air museum. Most people who arrived on the second day of the holiday came to see folk traditions. A family Pentecost was organized in the Zalaegerszeg handcrafter's house for the 12th time. Visitors could also get a taste of Croatian culture, and craft cultures and games also attracted lots of families. Meanwhile, in Budapest, the Mária Remete Church offered team games, quizzes, music and singing, and adoration for Christian believers. Cardinal Péter Erdő, the Archbishop of Esztergom Budapest, celebrated a Mass and also officially opened the preparation year of the International Eucharistic Congress in 2020. Starting this year, the Eucharist, as the source of the mission, will be at the center of everything. That's also the motto of the Congress. All my springs are in you. So the resources, the sources of mercy that the Eucharist is for us, doesn't stop at the Church's doorstep. It continues on to the rest of the world, he said. On Whit Monday, the Secretary General of the Ecumenical Council of Churches in Hungary told M1 News that God works on earth through acts of the Holy Spirit, the sacraments and the incantations. If there were no Holy Spirit in the Church, that would be like a mother without dedication. The Holy Spirit belongs to the Church, just as a mother's dedication belongs to her, he said. Vilmos Vsil said that the Holy Spirit is like the wind. You can't see it, but you can hear its hum and see the work it does that is capable of rejuvenating a man.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade had further talks about the Újvölgye incident with his Romanian counterpart by phone. The minister informed Péter Szijjártó that following an order from the Romanian Prime Minister, the Ministry of Defense will take control over the Újvölgye cemetery. Péter Szijjártó acknowledged the decision, but the Democratic Alliance of Hungarians in Romania is against it. According to the Romanian party, the only acceptable solution is to restore the graveyard's original state.
The head of Romanian diplomacy informed the Hungarian Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade. The Romanian Prime Minister ordered the Romanian Defense Ministry to take control of the cemetery. Hungary acknowledged the decision, but the statement from the Hungarian Foreign Ministry writes that Péter Szijjártó requested that the two defense ministers should start consultations to restore order in line with bilateral and international obligations at the cemetery. After the violent entry of Romanian extremists into a Hungarian military cemetery on Thursday, where a Romanian plot was created without a permit, authorities in Bucharest have decided that in order to preserve the cemetery's international nature, they would hand over the management of the graveyard to the Ministry of Defense. Meanwhile, Romanian press reported that the ministry's current Secretary General may have been the one who came up with the idea to place concrete crosses on Hungarian soldiers' graves without permission. Codruin Munteanu has been the Secretary General of the Romanian Ministry of Defense since 2014, and according to a report by Radio Free Europe, he's been threatening to handle the Uzvölgye cemetery for years. The Democratic Alliance of Hungarians in Romania doesn't accept the Ministry of Defense taking over the management of the graveyard. The president of the alliance, Hunor Kelemen, said that while Munteanu holds an important position at the ministry, a chance that they will try even more brutal intervention in the future cannot be ruled out. The state institutions show and have proven on Thursday that they are not capable or cannot, will not, or don't know how to handle the situation, he said. According to the faction leader of RMDS, the only acceptable solution is to restore the cemetery's original state. The Hungarian People's Party of Transylvania and the Hungarian Civic Party have both filed complaints with the authorities on the havoc in the Uzvölgye cemetery.
Lots of Hungarians took advantage of the last day of the long weekend on Monday. Hotels were fully booked in many waterside towns and resorts, and anyone who had the chance tried to escape the heat in some kind of body of water.
People in Kaposvár stood in packed lines in order to get into the Híradó flower bath. Many tried to escape the heat here. Swimming pools and complexes were also full over the weekend. The Agad beach had long queues as well. Anyone who could tried to cool off in the water. Many said they're happy to be able to finally switch their umbrellas for sunglasses. We're happy to have finally made it here. Barely a week ago we were still heating the house. Buffet owners are also happy about the summer heat. They said the season has finally started. The first 2 weeks were horrible for both employees and for us. Finally, the weather is good and we can begin to work, said the owner of this food stand. Hotels are full nationwide. People haven't been able to book a room for weeks now in this hotel in Balatonkerese. Many chose Lake Balaton as their destination thanks to the family activities available. According to data from Szállás.hu, 30% more families decided to spend the Pentecost weekend in a hotel this year. Due to the long weekend, camping areas were also fully occupied. Here in Siófok, trailers and tents were packed close together, while not a single wooden cottage stayed free for the holiday weekend.
The fields of the Kiskunság National Park are covered in beautiful feather grass. The wildflower is a protected species in Hungary. Feather grass can grow to 20-30 centimeters long, and its feathers fill meadows. When the wind blows, it seems like waves ripple in the pastures. Though it doesn't have a scent, lots of Hungarians keep it in their homes to this day, since it's an integral part of our history. Shepherds who lived in the fields decorated their hats with it and gifted it, which is why it's an important part of our folklore. A new exhibit has opened in Veszprém at the Veszprém Archdiocese Tourist Institute. The exhibit shows the history of the Archdiocese's economic activities, the liturgical dressmaker shop, the wafer baker, and the viticulture of the Archdiocese. Visitors can see the special dresses made by the dressmakers, the decades-old sewing machines, and the baking forms used to hand-bake the wafers. That's all for today. Catch the English news every day around 11:20 p.m. local time or stream it anytime online. Coming right up are M1's other foreign language news broadcasts. Thanks for watching. Good night.